Hey guys, I just wrote a blog post, but I thought I would share via video as well because sometimes it's nice to listen and to hear instead of reading. I don't know, people sometimes don't have the patience for that. So I just wrote a blog post about what it's like or what you should consider if you're looking to quit your job and become a full-time fitness instructor. And so for many, that's actually a dream to, just do fitness full-time, teach classes, be a yoga teacher. It sounds awesome. But there are a few things you really have to consider before jumping in. And just a little note, I didn't think that I was going to be a full-time fitness instructor when I put my 2 weeks notice in or put my notice in to quit my job. I actually had another job lined up and it fell through. And I had no idea what I was going to do. And then by luck or magic or fate or something, that I was offered a really great position teaching a lot of classes at a startup yoga studio. So I was lucky that way. So I'm just going to dive right in and tell you there are a few things that you should know. First, write out your budget. This is probably the most crucial thing you need to do. If you can't survive on cutting your income by much, you might not want to quit your full-time job yet. So you want to write out how much you need for groceries, for bills, for everything. Basically, what do you need to live on? If you have a spouse, include his income in there so that you can see if you can live off a cut in income. And so that's one of the most crucial things. And if you can't, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to quit your job? Maybe you can sell your car. For me, I actually sold my house. So we sold our house, downsized completely, and so there's a few sacrifices you have to make in order to live the life you want. You got to look into that. Along with budgeting, what you really want to do is start an emergency fund. And if you don't have a savings account or emergency fund, I highly recommend starting one as soon as possible. Everyone should have one. What happens is, emergencies happen and you have no idea when they're going to strike. A couple months after I quit my job, we had a few major expenses with our cars. And that wasn't such a big deal. We had some saved up, that was fine. But then, a month later, I ended up in the emergency room and I didn't have health insurance at the time. So I had to pay quite a bit of money, and I'm so thankful we had our emergency fund, but you never know when something's going to happen like that. Third thing I want to tell you guys is not to put all your eggs in one basket. So saying that not to try to teach a ton of classes all at one place or just do fitness instructing. You have to find other things to do. And even if you don't, you're going to have the space to fill during the day. What do? Maybe you have kids, so you're going to be a full-time mom or a full-time dad, and that's great. But if you're not yet, or if you do have time, your kids are in school, what are you going to fill it with? For me, I do a lot of different things. I mean, my income, most of it is from fitness teaching classes, but I do also get income from, I'm a Beachbody coach, so I do a lot of online fitness coaching. I donate plasma through my arm, through blood twice a week, and that actually provides me with the income I want to go to some trainings. I'm going to Miami in a couple months. What other things can you do? Selling items. Can you freelance? If what you're doing in your full-time job is something that you can do on the side, starting your own business, whether it's fitness coaching, like a Beachbody coach, or, starting your own home business, find something else as well. And of course, you have to look into insurance. You probably won't get benefits wherever you're teaching fitness classes. They won't offer you, you're only going to be working part-time or even a contract employee. So you want to look into health insurance for one, see how much that will cost, put that in your budget. And then also liability insurance is one that a lot of places will require. And if you're teaching at like a community center or somewhere that's not a gym and doesn't have all the insurance, you'll really want liability, which is like, $100 a year or so. So it's not too bad. Just again, put that in your budget. Okay, the next thing I have for you is to make sure all your certifications are up to date. CPR, if you're on, auto ship programs of, if you teach a class like body pump or PIO or turbo kick or those kind of formats that need you to be, on the monthly payment process, put that in your budget always. And also just make sure everything's up to date. Some gyms actually require you to have a primary group exercise certification or personal training certification. Some yoga studios will require you to be Yoga Alliance registered. I don't know many that do, but you might need to register for Yoga Alliance or get any CECs, whatever those are, continuing education type things. Just make sure that's all up to date. Next I have for you, you have to find your limit. So find your limit as far as teaching classes per day or per week. For me, I find I'm good with about 2 or 3 classes a day. After that, it gets all fuzzy and things just go crazy. And it's not just physically, I'm not tired, but mentally it's very draining. You're always giving to people, so find your limit. And your limit might be 5 or 6 classes, I don't know, or it might just be 1 a day. You really just have to see what works for you and what times you're available. If you like to do back-to-back classes, maybe you can do that every day, depending on where they are. Along with finding your limit is to learn to teach without doing. So instead of doing the whole class with them all the time, learn to get off your mat, out of your box, wherever you are, and just talk people through it. Students, they might be a little confused at first and try to get up too, but to be like, no, hey, I'm gonna get up and walk around and watch you guys and just listen to my voice. So learn to verbally cue without doing all the work. It's gonna help save your joints, save your muscles, save you from soreness, and really just allow you to teach more classes. The last 2 things I have for you, I really cannot stress enough. So once you quit your job and become full-time fitness instructor, you have to treat this as a career. This isn't a hobby anymore. It's not just a side thing you're doing just for fun and extra money. This is the real deal. You have to treat it like you're a business, like you're a business of one, a team of one. You have to be promoting. You have to put yourself out there, start a blog, draw people into your classes by posting to Facebook. Social media is free. A lot of it's free. So that's probably the best way I found to connect with students outside of class. And the more personal you are with your current students and with potential students, the bigger your classes will be. And you'll have options for privates. If that's one way, also another modality to get income and to teach classes is privates, and they often will pay more if you can do like in-home or private sessions. So just really knowing that you need to advertise, market, you're like a business now. So one thing I really recommend is learning a little bit about business. A great book would be The E-Myth Revisited. Amazing book for entrepreneurs. And so you are basically an entrepreneur. You're starting a fitness business. You are like a personal trainer. You're a group fitness coach. You are yourself. You are you. You have to brand yourself. You're not the gym that you're at. You are the instructor. This is your company, and you have to promote it like that. And being positive, uplifting. This is a very positive, uplifting career, so you must treat it like that. I can't stress it enough. You need to be happy. You need to have this big smile on your face and love what you're doing, because it's awesome. This is why you're doing it, because it's helping people and you have fun doing it, and it's just a great option. Everyone should know that this is not something you do for the money. Although it is good to make an income, you need to be able to survive, of course, but it's not going to make you super rich. It's something you do because it's fulfilling. It makes you glow and it makes you happy. And that's why I do it. It's not, I need to live, yes, so I do need to provide myself with an income and be able to go to some trainings to do some things, but it is not going to make you super rich. I mean, this many % of people probably are celebrity trainers or making the big bucks, but that takes a lot more hard work and you have to start somewhere. And the very last thing I have for you is probably the most important element ever, and that's personal development. When I was quitting my job, or when I was going through that transition of quitting my job, going to full-time and not knowing what to do, I actually was doing this online business career training academy. It was an 8-week session, and it was so helpful because there were days where I was like, why did I quit my job? I regret it so much. And it was so different going from structure 8 to 4:30 to all of a sudden I had all this time and I was only working, a couple hours a day. I'm like, I'm not doing enough. I just felt like it wasn't right. But the training I was going through really helped secure in my mind that what I was doing was the right thing and it was going to build up to be something amazing. And it has. I mean, it's not as big as I want it to be yet, but it's getting there. And so just investing in yourself, because the biggest thing you can do as an entrepreneur, as a person that is starting your own business, is to work on yourself more than your product, which would be fitness or classes. Work on yourself more than you do on your classes. If you can do that, you will have a successful career in group fitness. and teaching yoga or whatever it is you want to do as a full-time job. Just keep working on yourself. And so remember those tips that I told you. Look back at this if you ever forget. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And remember these things. If you want to connect with me, ask me any questions, please feel free to leave comments, add me to Facebook and Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will be here hopefully for a while. Bye.